Today we confront a tragedy that has left Bengaluru grieving, a stark reminder that joy can turn to sorrow when those in charge fail us. On June 4th, 2025, the city erupted in celebration for Royal Challengers Bengaluru's first ever IPL title, a moment 18 years in the making. But this triumph was shattered by a stampede outside Chinnaswamy Stadium, claiming 7 to 10 lives and injuring many more. This was no act of fate. It was a disaster born of human failure, a system riddled with negligence and indecision. Today, we must ask not just what went wrong, but who will answer for these lost lives, because this was a preventable catastrophe, not a random stroke of chance. The passion of RCB fans was electric, a city ready to explode with pride. Authorities knew this, organizing a felicitation at Vidanasuda and a stadium event with limited free entry passes available online. But here lies the first fatal flaw. Offering limited passes to a fan base with boundless fervor was a recipe for chaos, not control. Thousands descended on the stadium, with or without passes, drawn by the promise of seeing their heroes. Social media amplified the frenzy, every post and rumor pulling more people into the vortex. The stage was set for disaster, not celebration, as the system underestimated the sheer force of public enthusiasm. Initially, there was a flicker of wisdom. Bengaluru traffic police advised against a citywide parade, citing safety concerns, urging fans to use the metro and access the stadium only with passes. This was the right call, a rare moment of clarity. But then the system crumbled under pressure. As crowds swelled between Vidanasuda and the stadium, fueled by visible excitement and a political urge to capitalize on it, plans shifted. An open-top bus parade was suddenly prepared, a short victory procession deemed likely. This last-minute reversal, driven by political motives to harness a vote bank, undermined all safety measures. It sent mixed signals, drawing thousands to multiple locations. The police, who had warned against a parade, were forced to manage a now impossible situation, made deadly by those who prioritized spectacle over safety. The stampede was the heartbreaking, predictable result. Tens of thousands far beyond the stadium's capacity surged toward Chinnaswamy. The pass system collapsed as fans desperate to enter climbed fences. Despite 5,000 police and loudspeaker warnings, the crowd's momentum was unstoppable. People fainted, fell, and were trampled. A mild lathi charge, a last-ditch effort, was futile against the overwhelming human tide. Shoes, bags, and broken dreams littered the gates. What should have been a moment of unity became a grim monument to negligence. Deputy Chief Minister D.K. Shivakumar's words, "What was meant to be a celebration has turned into a tragedy," feel empty when his government's decisions paved the path to this horror. The failures are stark and unforgivable. The crowd size was overwhelming because the government, the Karnataka State Cricket Association, and RCB fueled expectations without adequate controls. Crowd management was not just poor, it was virtually non-existent for the scale of the event. Barricades, queues, and supervisors were no match for the human tsunami. Communication breakdowns and last-minute flip-flopping on the parade weren't just confusing, they invited disaster by concentrating people in unmanageable zones. The limited passes system was a mirage, dissolving into a deadly choke point as crowds surged. Worst of all, political self-interest trumped public safety. Leaders, eager to bask in the glow of victory and appease a key voting demographic, pushed for a grand celebration despite clear risks. Police warnings were ignored or diluted, a deliberate choice to prioritize optics over lives. As BJP spokesperson Amit Malviya put it, this was a lack of basic administrative foresight, a polite way of saying lives were sacrificed for political gain. Who answers for the dead? This was no accident. It was a preventable disaster rooted in negligence and misjudgment. The Karnataka state government, as the primary organizer, bears the heaviest burden. They approved the event, underestimated the crowd, and failed to ensure robust security. This is not a regrettable incident, but a betrayal of public trust. The Karnataka State Cricket Association and RCB franchise share blame for generating immense hype without ensuring safe capacity. How many passes were issued compared to the stadium's limits? Did their promotions lure more people than could be handled? The police, despite their numbers and initial caution, saw crowd control collapse on their watch. Were barricades sufficient? Were emergency teams ready? They were either unprepared or placed in an impossible position by political interference. Above all, leaders like Chief Minister Siddaramaiah and Deputy CM Shivakumar face rightful scrutiny. The suggestion of vote bank politics isn't speculation, it's a grim truth. Their failure to heed police warnings turned celebration into carnage. Apologies are not enough. Accountability, discipline, and resignations are demanded. The fans are not to blame. They were invited, drawn by the promise of a historic moment. Their actions, while chaotic, were a response to an environment created by those who failed to ensure safety. The responsibility lies with those who held the power to manage this event and fell short. This cannot be another tragedy as usual. The Bengaluru Stampede demands more than inquiries and promises. It must be a turning point. Bengaluru, a global tech hub, must explain why basic tools, capped e-ticketing, live crowd monitoring, CCTV, drones were not fully deployed. The community deserves better than a celebration turned funeral. Condolences from the franchise and players are a start, but systemic change is non-negotiable. We need stricter event approval processes with meticulous safety audits. Authorities must have the courage to say no to unsafe events, even if it risks political backlash. Negligence must carry consequences, severe penalties for those who flout safety, whether powerful trusts, political parties, or organizers. Experts in crowd management must lead planning, their warnings heeded over political whims. The NDMA's guidelines must become mandatory checklists backed by independent audits. Police need modern crowd management training and tools, empowered to act decisively. The Bengaluru Stampede is a brutal wake-up call. Fan passion is a treasure, but it demands uncompromising safety. From the government to organizers to police, every stakeholder failed. By pinpointing these errors and demanding accountability, we can ensure no celebration ever again costs a single life. Bengaluru and India deserve better. Let's make this the last such tragedy.